Everybody loves Jonathan Luzuriaga's humor and wit. But besides these charming traits, he's a man with a unique personality that shows in his values. Good morning, Jonathan. Thank you for being here with the show called Self-Made.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. It's always a pleasure for me to be here. You're my idol.
And you're my idol too. Can you share with us your childhood story?
Well, I've been one of the lucky ones. My father was really into the manufacturing space, being the head of Wella Philippines, the shampoo company. So I guess that instilled a little bit of discipline. It also gave me the opportunity to look deep into my future, which never happened, by the way, because I took up political science, eventually leading to law. And I wanted to have a human resource career in the beginning. My first job was with a semiconductor company. And that's when I started realizing that there's going to be some technology in the future because of the way that we were producing all the wafers for the semiconductor industry. When I set up my own family, I ran for councilor position in Laguna, and I lost miserably, thank goodness, because otherwise I would have been a politician. And while I was busy licking my wounds, my wife was doing all sorts of things just to keep the family afloat. And I told myself, maybe it's about time I need to get back into employment. And there were only two industries in the Philippines that were showing some signs of life. And that was the banking and finance sector. And then there was this new industry called the call centers. So I sat down with my wife and I asked her, these are the only two industries that would basically hire me immediately. And my wife said lovingly, I've seen your grades in math when we were in university. Please go to the call center space because you might run a bank to the ground. So I entered the Ambergris Solutions as first team leader. So I was with a Dell customer care account. It's a very challenging account. And that's where I learned the ropes in terms of managing people and understanding the technology behind this.
And who inspired you during that time?
I guess I always looked at my parents. My mom is a Lucina Defensor and my father is Franklin de Luzuriaga. They were both very, very hardworking parents. There was never a time that I think that I could feel that I'm alone in any of the challenges that I passed through, even through my childhood. And I always looked up to them. And you could set your watch on my father's routine. So it's almost daily. I could see him work very, very hard to sustain our family. And I come from a big family. I have 6 siblings.
Is that where you get your passion in really giving back and really doing something for our country?
Even during the EDSA Revolution days, when me and my brothers were going to walk the streets, my father locked the door and said, "Where are you guys going?" And said, "We're going to join the revolution because we want change." And what my father told me then was very significant, and it's still with me up to now. He said, "Don't go walk the streets. Go back to your books, study well, put up companies, hire people, treat them well, make them grow. That's how you help this country."
So how can you encourage our future leaders, especially the millennials right now? How can you encourage them to really make Philippines first world?
First and foremost, you cannot give what you do not have. So learn as much as you can.
So education.
Education is very, very strong. Right now, I always tell people, nowadays, with access to education, you just go through YouTube and you can basically look at anything that you want to learn about. So stupidity right now is just an option. If you want to be stupid, you will remain stupid. But if you want to learn, there's just so much that you can learn out there. So education is key. But don't ever forget the most important skills, which is respect, passion, dedication. Those are some of the things that make this nation unique.
But what's your message also for people, like especially the children or the young people in the provinces, because they don't have that kind of passion, the experience or belief? What's your message to them that they should do?
My message directly is do not lose hope. Do not lose hope, because that's the only time that you will really consider yourself as a failure if you stop trying.
Yes. What also your special message to parents? Like, you're already parents, right?
Yes.
And how we connect with the young generations right now.
I think it is imperative upon all parents to really stay attuned with the developments around us. Things are changing, and things are changing very, very fast. Now, when I was doing my thesis in university, it was still black and white. Everything was still black and white. I couldn't even graph things in color. When you need to do a book report, you basically have to stand in line in a library. If there are only 4 books like that in that particular school, then you have to wait until 200 or 300 of your classmates would finish with the book before you could start reading it and making a report. Nowadays, you just click on stuff and it's there.
Yes.
So we need to develop a mindset of openness and support. These kids nowadays, they're probably more creative than my generation, or probably the generation before me.
Now we focus on, everybody said we need a change, we need a change. But what do you think we need to stay attuned that we don't need to change it? What is it that we need to keep intact?
I think the pride in being Filipino, our openness, our humor. You know, there is no natural calamity that could shake the Filipino spirit. We've seen that several times over. Let's not forget that. Again, it's one of those things that make us great and make this nation great. We have the elements to make us successful as individuals, as organizations, and as a nation.
What's the special point that that person will do to reach that?
We need to all hold hands and make sure that all stakeholders are on the same page, serving the same masters that I'm servicing, which is flag and country. If we become selfish about this, we're not going to go anywhere. But together, we could achieve so much. Do not be contented. Do not rest until you reach your goals, and then dream some more.
Wow, very nice. I'm touched. Parang kinilabutan ako dun ha. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Every success has its struggles. Every dream has its trials and tests. Listen to their stories, because if they did it, you can also be called self-made.